Hey, what is happening, people? I hope everyone's having a beautiful day out there. It's uh it's the third day of December, right? It's a beautiful day. It's a day of Christmas. It's a day of the holidays. It is the holidays. It is December 3rd, Thursday, the day after Hump Day. This is Bump Day. This is Thump Day. This is Trump Day. I'm just kidding. This isn't Trump Day. Unless you're totally into that. Dude, he's completely failing in the courts. The man hasn't even won one case. There's no way he's going to win. It's so crazy that there is still, there's still an attempt for him. And it seems very Trumpish to do. Just try every single thing you can do to get the W, to become the president again. But the dude's already going to be running for 2024. He already said that. I'm pretty sure he said that. He's going to be running for 2024. And if he does run for 2024 and they don't have a good candidate, the Democrats, I think he's going to end up winning because I'm just not confident in this, these next 4 years. Just, I don't know. Like, if the whole world goes back to bed when it comes to politics, because politics, it needs to not be exciting, because once it's exciting, I don't think people like that. I think that's what Trump did. He came along. He made that shit exciting, man. He made it exciting. Like, people who never watched the news started watching the news. People who never cared about, like, anything politics related, they started caring. And, but yeah, so that's that. I want to go ahead and I'm going to start this podcast off with saying this. Guys, I went ahead and I recorded an entire episode. I'm talking a 40-minute episode. I covered so many things. I covered Kings. I covered the gay dude in Hungary who got busted for a gay orgy. I covered running. I covered so much stuff. Hump Day, Dump Day. I talked about the days of the week. Like watch, I'm gonna do it again. It's like Bueller's Day Off. Who invented the days of the week? I did this. The Babylonians named the days after the 5 planetary bodies known to them: Tuesday through Saturday, and after the sun and moon, Sunday and Monday. Its customs later adopted by the Romans. The Babylonians, man, what a historical tribe. What a cool group of people, man. The Babylonians was an ancient Akkadian-speaking state and culture area based in central southern Mesopotamia. It looks like Saudi Arabia, that area. That's neat, man. That's cool. Oh, where Syria was 4,000 years ago. It was founded more than 4,000 years ago. Why was Babylon destroyed? Conditions. A number of factors arose which were ultimately led to the fall of Babylon. The population of Babylonia became restive and increasingly disaffected under Nabonidus. The Marduk priesthood hated Nabonidus because of his suppression of Marduk's cult and his elevation of the cult of the rising of the moon god's sin. The Marduk's cult, what is that about? It's so cool to just have a super impulsive mind, because it just allows for chaos. But yeah, this is what I was saying. So I hopped on here. I did a podcast. I recorded an entire podcast. It was a fun podcast. I was excited. I finished it. I was like, that was a good one. Sometimes you finish podcasts like, nah, that one sucked. People are going to hate that one. But you just go ahead and upload it. You just go ahead and upload it anyways. So I was like, nah, not the best podcast. I was like, yeah, that's a good podcast. So I go ahead and I have to take the chip. I take the macro chip out of my video camera. Cool, no issue. I go to my Rodecaster to take out my microchip. I'm an idiot. I should be taking precaution right now. But I go ahead and I take it out, and before I turn before I stop the recording, because you got to stop the recording. So the big red button. Then you turn it off, and then you pull out the microchip. What I did is I just pulled out the microchip, and my entire audio portion of the podcast was completely deleted. And I was pissed. This was like 12:15 on Wednesday, and I was very, very angry. So I went ahead and got coffee. I was pissed. Then I had the study guide I had to do at 12:30. Well, not at 12:30, but it was around that time. So I was very angry. I was very upset. I wasn't happy. And here you go. To be honest, my immediate reaction was like, F it. I'm not doing a podcast on Thursday. Because I was that upset. I don't know why I was so upset. I do know why. Because I took the time and I did a podcast and I felt good about this podcast. And I went ahead and I accidentally deleted it all. But it's okay. We're here. We're doing another one. We're 5 minutes into another episode, and it's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna be okay. I have things to talk about, but I just wanted to let you know the frustration. This is the first time I've done it in over a year and a half. This is the first time I've recorded an episode, and I messed up something. Like I messed up the audio file or the video file. That's okay. I think it's okay. I'm gonna survive. But I was very upset by it. So I went ahead and got coffee. I actually got this coffee right here. This 32-ounce Wawa coffee. And it's delicious. It's got salted caramel, sugar-free salted caramel. It's got 3 Splenda, whole milk, and a little bit of coffee. 32 ounces. So what's that, 64? That's 1/4 of a gallon of just coffee. But that's how we're doing it. That's how we're doing it right now. Had a 3D energy drink earlier before I ran. So that's how we're doing it. That's how you recover. Instead of pigging out on pizza, which I almost wanted to do, is I was angry. I don't know why I get so angry at this, but I get so frustrated. It made me so mad. Instead of just cheating on my carnivore diet, I went ahead and I just got a coffee. And it was delicious, and I was happy with it, and it made me feel good. And now I'm sitting here in front of you people, and we're doing a podcast, and Taylor's sneezing. Bless you. You're welcome. And it's going to be okay. We'll survive. There was a guy who DM'd me on Facebook, and he was like, hey, man, I like your podcast and everything, but you ramble. I think you should cut that out. I was like, word, I respect it. I get it. I understand. But you guys got to understand something. How do I listen? I listen to podcasts that are not organized podcasts. I listen to rambling. Right? I don't listen to podcasts that are super, like, they're professional, like in the sense that they have good quality, good audio, good videos, all that good stuff. But they're not super professional in the sense that they, I forgot the food. Shit. Like that. Like, that's not what he likes, but I'm okay. That's fine. They're not professional in the sense that there is a 100% known structure before the podcast is given, right? So, like, for example, like Theo Von this past weekend, he has a guest on. He has a structure in the sense that he has people calling in to ask questions. He kind of knows what he's going to ask, but it's not like down to, there's not like people telling what he needs to do, what he should do, what he should talk about, what he can't talk about, how long he should talk, blah, 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 blah. There's none of that. He just kind of rambles. Joe Rogan does that. Brendan Schaub, the fighter and the kids, does that. Joey Diaz does that. And these are my favorite podcasts. These are what I listen to. I don't listen to ones that are super structured. And I don't, maybe like a Bill Gates one, maybe like a Kim Kardashian one, or I'm just trying to think. I don't even think I listen to podcasts like that. I don't really listen to category-based podcasts either. Like, I don't listen to crime podcasts. I don't listen to sports podcasts. I basically listen to comedy. Like, podcasts for me is just funny. I like laughing. I love laughing at dark humor. I love laughing, right? So that's what I listen to. Anything that's just kind of like off the dome and it can make me giggle, that's what I'm into. And that's kind of what I've tried to develop with this podcast. So I respect what you said. I get it. I might look into it, but I most likely won't look into it because I enjoy the bickering. I enjoy the tangents I go on when I text Taylor to get me a glass of water, or when whatever it is. I enjoy the chaos of a podcast. That's where I think that's where I thrive, and that's where I plan on taking this podcast for a long time, and it's what I enjoy doing, and I hope you guys enjoy the same thing. But with that being said, I will continue to do it this way, and it's not going to change. It's always going to be just me, just like ADD. I don't know if that's so bright. Just me, ADD, bouncing around everywhere like a bowling ball going down a bowling alley lane. I miss bowling. So yeah, so I'm here. It's gonna be okay. I could talk for an hour, 20 minutes. A few things I wanted to cover real quick. So I've been on Carnivore Diet for about 45 days now. Of those 45 days, I've had probably 6 cheat days. Of those 6 cheat days, they were all between 4 of the 6 were between Wednesday to Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 3 of the 6, and the other 3 were kind of scattered throughout weekends. I love it. I really do. I love this diet. It's so simple. I feel like I just talk about it all the time. But I do. I love this diet. It's so easy. It reduces my impulsivity. Like I think it's fair to say I'm slightly an impulsive person. I don't know how to control my impulses as much, I think, as most people. And what I really like about the carnivore diet is that I feel like I'm having deja vu because I did the same thing on my last podcast that got deleted. But I feel like this carnivore diet creates a new framework for me. So if you normally do like a diet or a lifestyle eating, the general thing is don't think food is bad. Like all food's fine, just in moderation. And I totally respect that. I like it. I do it myself. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Like it makes a lot of sense. It's a healthy way to look at food. Also, it's really good if you are somebody who has had issues with food relationships before, right? And also, this is probably just how unhealthy I am that I'm actually going to go against what it is. So, but the issue with me when it comes to that is that if it's just hitting your calorie intake and controlling what you eat, so the carnivore is an elimination diet. That's essentially what it is. Sorry, 90-10 beef coming back up. There's venison and cheese bologna downstairs. I don't know how I feel about that. The microwave's broken too, which kind of sucks. But like I don't know how I feel about that. Like bologna, I texted the person who got it. I texted them. I was like, "What is it?" And then they said bologna. I was like, "Oh, why'd you use that word bologna?" Like that word bologna just takes me back to my childhood. I loved bologna sandwiches, man. Bologna sandwiches are the best. You just fry bologna. Just put like 2 or 3 pieces of fried bologna with margarine. If you didn't grow up on margarine. I think margarine. Why was margarine popular? Because I don't think it had 11 grams of fat. What is margarine? A butter substitute made from vegetable oils. Oh my God, it's made from vegetable oils. That's so bad for you. That is so. I grew up eating margarine all the time. Country Crock margarine. That is so funny. It's just vegetable oil. I can't believe it's not butter. What was that stuff made of? Can't believe it's not butter. Ingredients. Purify water, palm kernel oil. Oh, it's just oil. That's so bad for you. But what is regular butter made out of? Butter, ingredients. Not oil, right? Fat and protein components of milk cream. What ingredients are in butter? Butter is a dairy product made from the fat and protein components of milk. Made from cow's milk. Okay, yeah, so it's different. I thought, okay. So that's yeah, I knew margarine was bad for you, but I didn't know that's what made it bad. It was just vegetable oil. Vegetable oils are so bad for you, man. I feel like anything I looked up, vegetable oils, side effects. The unsaturated fats found in vegetable oils, when they're heated, tend to oxidize. In this form, they are most dangerous to body tissues and can trigger inflammation, a known risk, making blood vessels plaques enough for a heart attack. Blah, 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 blah. Not good for you. Yeah. You remember when vegetable oils were like pushed, like vegetable oils over regular butter? Well, that's what's cool about the carnivore diet. It says, screw you. That's not true. And I think that's awesome because I think that like back, let's pull it back together, Mike. We can do this. When you're just eating food, when you're just eating a lot of different foods and you're trying to limit yourself on what you eat, not like type of food, but the amount of a certain food that you eat, it's really, my impulse is super high because what will happen, this will happen because this has happened a lot to me. I'll wake up one day and be like, all right, Mike, so what you're going to do today is you want pizza. So how do we get pizza? You have 2,500 calories, but you really want pizza. And how are you planning to eat pizza? Because you don't want like a slice of pizza. You want a whole large pizza. Okay, so how do we do this? We have to wait all day to eat. So what will happen to me is I will wait until 8 p.m. I will order a large Domino's pizza, which I think is like large Domino's pepperoni pizza calories. 309 calories. So 309 times 8. What is that? 309 times 8. So it'd be 2,472 calories. So I'll be like, okay, well, we can do this. We can have a large pepperoni pizza from Domino's if we just don't eat all day. So that's fine. That's cool. I go about my day. You know, I don't really do this anymore, but like back when I would work at the restaurant, I'd be like, okay, we can do this. So I would get off at like 10 p.m. And my goal was at 10 p.m., that's when I'd get the pizza, right? And there'd be no issues. I'll go to bed. I'd be hungry during the day, but the calories would, level out at the end of the day. But that's not what would happen. Since I didn't eat, I would fast until about 4 or 5 p.m. And then once the dinner rush kicked in, it was like 7 or 8 o'clock and it started slowing down. I was like, shit, I'm hungry. And then since I knew I could eat anything I wanted, I'd be like this, okay, well, let's rationalize this. Now let's order a large pizza at 10. You still want a large pepperoni pizza from Domino's, but let's just eat half of it, right? Let's just eat half of it. So then that's 1,236 calories. So I'm like, okay, we can do that. I'm going to order a steak sandwich and fries, right? So I do that. And then so now I'm just going to have a steak sandwich and fries and half a pepperoni pizza from Domino's, 4 slices. But it would never work out that way. I would do it. I would eat the steak sandwich, fries, and then I would rationalize, okay, well, let's just have a quarter thing of pizza, right? So then I would, it's only have 618 calories. So then I grab ice cream. And then that's when the wheels would turn off. I would grab way too much ice cream. I knew it was too much ice cream, but I would still eat all the ice cream. And then I would still order the pizza. I would get the pizza. I would look at it. I would be, F it, let's just eat the whole thing. Then I'd go to bed, and instead of eating 2,472 calories, I went to bed eating 5,000 calories. But that's how I worked. That's how I worked when I would just count my calories. And I would allow myself to eat anything I wanted, just in a certain restriction zone. Well, it's not like that for carnivore. Carnivore doesn't allow that. Carnivore takes food, and it eliminates food that you can't eat. And I think for a lot of people, that may not be the healthiest, but for me, it's by far the easiest way for me to lose weight. I feel super focused. I feel so much less impulsive. And the only time I'm impulsive is if I want to eat more, not eat a different thing. Like if let's say the day that I did have carbs, they weren't by accident. Like I planned a week in advance to have like a pizza on Sunday. Like it wasn't just like I woke up and I was like, screw it, let's have pizza. Like it was all like planned out stuff. So I've been doing that. I've been on it so this December, there's something I'm doing this December that it's kind of crazy, but I'm really excited to do it. So I know somebody who ran 100 miles in November, and that's a huge feat. It's not easy to do. Try to run 100 miles in a month. It's not easy to do. But I unhealthily, I had this. I did this thing where I don't recommend doing this, and it's probably not the most healthy thing to do. But I have like this extreme sense of like, I guess competition maybe, not competition, but like sometimes I feel like a Labrador with a golden retriever with a ball, but my ball's missing. But I need the ball, so I make the ball appear, and then once the ball appears, I chase it, and I didn't feel like I had a ball, right? I didn't really feel like I had a ball. So naturally, somebody is doing something that's a challenge. I don't want to do that challenge. I think I've run 100 miles in a month before because I was running all those 5Ks and I didn't really think about it, but I'm sure I've done it. So I was like, I was like, okay, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? So for like the last week, this person was running 100 miles. I unhealthily started scoping him up. I started putting him in my crosshairs. I was like, I want to do that, but I want to double it. I want to do 200 miles. Let's see if I can do 200 miles a month. So what does that mean for me? That means for me, I'm doing 200 miles in December. I'm going to try my hardest to run 200 miles this month. We're going to see what I can do. That's a lot of miles. It's not easy. So there's 31 days in December. Today is December 3rd. Hopefully I've ran 8 more miles today, but my goal is to run 8 miles a day over 31 days. That's 248 miles, right? 8 times 31. 248 miles. So that's 248 miles. That's with no days off, which I'm going to need days off. I don't want to. So what I'm planning to do is to front end everything, run between 8 to 10 miles for the first half. So let's say I do 9 miles on average times 15 days. That's not what I want. 9 times 15. That puts me, holy crap, I'm so bad with this calculator. 9 times 15. 135 miles. So I'm going to try to front end it. But if I do an average of 8 miles if I do 8 miles times 25, it puts me at exactly 200 miles. That gives me 6 days where I can take a rest. So I'm going to try to hit at least 8 miles every single day. I can't go under 6.5 miles. Like, that's my goal. Like, if I'm like really tired one day, I got to keep running till I get 6.5, and then I can go ahead and take a break at 6.5. But that's what I'm going to do this December. It's going to be a little bit difficult because at the end of this month, I'm going to be in a place where it's really warm and it's going to be super hot, but it's going to be a nice change of pace. I can do it on the treadmill, so I'm going to run on the treadmill. I've already done 16 miles as of Wednesday, so hopefully I'm at 24, 25 miles as of Thursday, December 3rd. But I'm super excited about it. It's just a new competition thing. It gives my life more meaning. Right, we're all looking to escape this tumbling of the world that we live in. So I'm delighted by this. I feel bad. I shouldn't have looked at this person like prey. I've always had that in me where I just kind of obsessively not compete per se, but there's no reason for me to try to run 200 miles. I don't get an award. I don't get a prize or anything, but it's just something that I feel like I have to do. I watched the Alex Honnold movie on Hulu, which, come on, Hulu, you guys suck. Alex Honnold movie called Free Solo. I knew it was out. It came out like 2 years ago. Him and his girlfriend just got married. He has a book. I kind of want to read the book. Tommy Gladwell. I think she also climbs. Yeah, she's also a climber. It's kind of crazy that they're both climbers. But yeah, they're both climbers. And I finally went ahead and I saw his movie. And Jesus Christ, man. It's intense. It's an intense movie. And it definitely sparked something in me. I was like, I have to do something. Not like that, but I want to do something that's kind of intense. So I decided to do the 200 miles. And the reason why I didn't watch this movie is because heights are just terrifying to me. I didn't want to have a heart attack as I was watching it. And there was definitely parts of this movie where I was like grabbing the things around me. Like, there's some scenes in it where you're just like, oh my God, this is insane. And then when he eventually climbs it, he just climbs it on like, it's like a regular day for him. Like, he doesn't even, like, there was scenes in it where he like does like, it's called the boulder, Alex Honnold, the boulder problem. Yeah, it's called the boulder problem. He does this thing where he goes across the boulder, he kicks his leg out. And when he kicks his leg out, he turns to the camera and he smiles. He literally smiles at the camera. There's some scenes in it where you're just like I'm looking at images right now. I'm like Like, I'm just freezing. Like, I don't know how you're watching this. I don't know how somebody just does this. I mean, there was a crack in the wall, and he's literally he's like skimming, he's like climbing his way through the crack on the wall. Like, that image right there when he was smiling. I don't know, man. I wonder how many people have gone to El Capitan after that. It's called El Cap. God, you just see these images and you're just like, how do you even start like that? It was sad though when they did the brain imaging thing and he literally had no activation. His amygdala had no activation. You're just like, what the fuck? How is that even? It was so sad when he was talking about he's never even been hugged before until he hugged his girlfriend. But I guess it's, that's what it takes. So I guess if you're going to be at that level, I love stuff like that. Like I do. I love that I love knowing that these people exist. Like I would never do it, but I love knowing that somebody like Alex Honnold is out there and he's doing things like this. It just makes me proud to be a human. Like if like aliens said, hey, give us your best humans, I would be like, yo, this is Alex Honnold. He climbs flat rocks for a living. That are 3,000. Oh my God, that image right there. Oh my God. Oh my God. The rock is literally, he's holding the rock by his hands and his feet are just dangling in the sky. When he finished the rock, he went to the edge to look over. I was yelling on my TV. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop that. Yeah. These people are crazy, man. But yeah, so I'm going to try to run 200 miles. It shouldn't be, it's going to be difficult, but I think I can do it. I think I'm crazy enough to do it. I'm going to try to run every day. I might even go for 250. Can't say that too loud. Girlfriend doesn't want me to. But I just want to push myself. I want to see what I can do. I want to see how the weight loss looks. I started at like 196. I think I'll probably get down to 185. And then maybe I might do a marathon after that just to give it a go on my free time. But it is something that I'm like really excited to do. I woke up this morning. I felt like I had like a whole new purpose. I was like, the first thing I did when I woke up this morning, December 2nd, was I was like, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to get on the treadmill and run. Like I want to go 10 miles, but I went 8 miles. I was like cramping up on my sides. And, but it gives me like this new motivation to just kind of get after it. And that's something that I'm very excited to do. So shout out to the guy who sent me the email. I wasn't trying to like trash on you. It's just, I like the way that my podcast is just random. Like I do. I enjoy that. It's something that it's what I listen to. It's what I listen to. And so that's what I want to replicate on my own podcast. But let's get into some news. Photographer, model arrested by Egyptian police following photo shoot at ancient site. This lady was arrested for taking pictures in Egypt. It's really weird when you start thinking about like progressiveness. You get so caught up in this country and how you forget how progressive we are in this country and how the rest of the world is so like not that. Like even in the Philippines, it's like, are drugs illegal in Philippines? The prevalence of illegal drug use in the Philippines is lower than the global average. Two of the most used valuable illegal drugs in the country are methamphetamines, called shabu. What is shabu? Shabu is a type of meth. Meanwhile, the penalty of imprisonment ranging from 6 months to 1 day to 4 years, and our fine ranging from whatever that means should impose upon who will be found guilty. I thought they were still capital punishment. What is capital? What qualifies capital punishment in the Philippines? A fight to stop the return. What crimes are considered capital punishment? Treason, espionage. That's so crazy. We're so nationalistic in this world that like if you lie to your country, you can go to jail. Like you can get killed for that, or you can get like exiled, like Edward Snowden is. This is funny. I want to read this one news story. Ow, my tooth. This one, I thought this was hilarious. I read it on the first time I did this podcast. I'm such an idiot. Hungary's right-wing ruler downplays MEP gay orgy scandal amid hypocrisy. So he's right-wing. He's kind of going against the LGBTQ rights in this country, Hungary, and he's not all about it. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban had condemned the behavior of MEP Hozzá Zsafta from his right-wing Fidesz party after Zaha's participation in a gay orgy in Brussels promoted accusation of hypocrisy. Here we go. Orban's government has enacted a range of legislation over the past decade infringing on LGBT rights. It doesn't say Q. And Zahaj boasted of personally rewriting Hungary's constitution to define marriage as a heterosexual institution in 2011. So the guy who eventually gets called for an orgy is he's regressing the rights of the LGBT. That made it all the more embarrassing when he was caught by Brussels police shimmying down a drain pipe to escape a gay orgy last Friday. Police raided the gathering as it violated Belgium's coronavirus regulations. That's so funny. It always works out that way. The dude who is like the most like going against something is always guilty of doing that same thing. The irony in that's just it's impossibly hilarious. But that's gonna be it, guys. Once again, this is a short podcast, and the reason why it's a short podcast is because I messed up, and I'm sorry. I apologize. But next week's podcast is gonna be longer. But hopefully you guys get something out of this. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the week. I will see you guys in episode 146 of the show with me, Michael Labs. Thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, do all your things. Let's try to get 700 reviews on Apple Podcast. Thank you so much, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.